Hello, welcome, hi. It's been a while since we've done this, a couple months I guess, but it's time to do another complete EDC. I've done most of the stores around here, and I don't want to recycle stores I've already done, so we got to thinking about what stores we should do next. And really there's only two around here that would make sense: Tractor Supply and Home Depot. So we are currently headed to Home Depot now, and admittedly, I know that Home Depot is very similar to Lowe's, but I don't know that I've ever really shopped at Home Depot. I've been inside maybe one or two ever, so this should be an experience. I don't know what to expect. I know they're probably not going to have a watch, just like Lowe's. Probably, if they have a wallet, it's just going to be one of those Nite Ize things. I'm not going to bother with that, but that's where we're headed. We're almost to Home Depot now. We're going to see what we can find. Yeah, did not check diesel prices back there, but it's probably about time to fill this sucker up. I love this thing. I really do. I know a lot of you are like, shouldn't have bought a Ford. Why'd you buy a Ford? Found on road dead, blah, blah, blah. I still love this thing. Really, a whole lot. But filling it up right now is very painful. If it's dead, or if it's out of diesel, which it's not, I'm at, 3/4 of a tank. Not 3/4 of a tank. I'm at like 3/8 of a tank. If I let this thing go to empty, it would be like $240 to fill up right now, I think. Nice. It's nice. And my fuel economy has been slapped pretty hard because of the lift and tires and tent and rack and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's my own doing, but I don't care. I love this thing. The old Home Depot. Maybe, and hopefully you can hear me a little better now. We are here at Home Depot. I'm going to take these off. And just to recap for people who have not seen one of these videos before, basically what we try to do is replace everything I have in my carry. So a knife, a pen, this one is probably not going to happen, but for the sake of the argument, a watch, wallets, like a multi-tool of some sort. I don't actually have one on me today. Swiss Army, don't have it, usually do. So a multi-tool of some sort, flashlight, knife, pen, watch, wallets, and keys. I'm just trying to get all this stuff at Home Depot and see what they have to offer. I have no idea what to expect, other than probably about the same as Lowe's, but we'll see. Different brands. Let's do it. Let's do the damn thing. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it sounded like a bird of some sort. Home Depot. And for those of you that are not clued in, this is a semen bucket. I don't know how to explain this. Woman asked, she saw me carrying all this stuff at Home Depot, nice lady, and she was talking about all the uses for these buckets. She was like, just grab a bucket and put your stuff in it. And she's like, I use it when I'm grilling at the house and putting stuff in, and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of uses for a bucket. And I swear I heard her say that she put semen in it, and not cement, but semen. Megan heard the same thing. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what she meant, but she almost positively said semen. So this is a Home Depot semen bucket, just for the record. Once again, I spent too much money, $178, but not all of this is for, this is for a video at a later date, which you guys will see. Some fat wood, and then I threw in some shackles with this purchase because I sold my AT4, and when I sold my AT4, I left the shackles on the back. Sad day. I knew it was in the lot. I should have just grabbed them off the back of it, but I guess technically that would be stealing. Okay, so the rest of the stuff in the bucket is as such. We have a Coast flashlight. Of course, the Milwaukee Fastback, the legendary. We have a SOG knife, the Flare, is an assisted knife, and the Gerber MP600, as well as some Nite Ize gear. They did have a financial tool, the same wallet that all the places have that's Nite Ize. I was not going to buy another one of those. They kind of suck. Second, they do list other wallets on their website, but you have to ship them to store. They don't have them in stock. And they did have a Timberland Cordura wallet. Interesting fun fact. But we're not going to order anything. We just wanted to see what we could get in store. And if you want to order online from Home Depot, they do carry Garmin and other types of smartwatches, but nothing in store. So this is the carry we got from the store. A little more on the heavy knife side, but we're going to go through all of these things one by one, starting with this little interesting thing that caught me off guard. This is a Nite Ize SlideLock, I guess is what they call it, SlideLock 360, and let's just see what it's all about. This says quick release or locking collar. I'm not sure what that means. It doesn't seem very quick release to me. Okay, so it's magnetic. Oh, magnetic, and then you can screw it down, and then it rotates freely, but they're not going to come apart. Interesting. I don't think this is something I would use personally, but I do like magnetic quick releases, and it's really good to know that this is in stock somewhere. You can go pick it up yourself, and Home Depot carries it. I believe this was like $15. SlideLock $14.98. So that could be quite interesting if you put, say, keys on one side. Oh, it's also a locking carabiner. So double locking, and then you can put this on, say, your belt loop. And if you wanted to leave it, you can have a quick release. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to talk Milwaukee Fastback. I have one of these somewhere, and I've got many versions of Milwaukee Fastbacks, or you know, things that are very, very similar. We'll call them knockoffs, I guess. But you can never have too many of these, so I grabbed another one. It was $8, $9, I believe, and exactly what you would expect from a Milwaukee Fastback. Push the button, open it, close it. You have no blade storage, right? No. Somebody was telling me I was wrong last time that the Milwaukee Fastback does not have blade storage in the handle. There are 2 or more versions of the Fastback. This one in particular does not have storage in the handle, which is what I was talking about before. This is the small Milwaukee Fastback. The larger one has a little pull out for blade storage in the handle. This one does not. Always and forever, my biggest complaint of these is the pocket clip position, but for something like this, it doesn't really matter because this thing is locked closed anyway, so you have to push that button to open it. Super fidgety, super reliable, fantastic value for $8, I believe it was. Milwaukee Fastback, $8.97. You really can't beat this for $9. Ridiculously good. So typically I've always been on the Leatherman multi-tool train. Recent controversies aside, I think they make the best multi-tools, period. They are very reliable. They have a million different configurations, and I really like the tools, even if they did pull a really, really shitty move and rip off tail of knives. Not cool at all, and they never acknowledged any kind of wrongdoing, which is even worse in my opinion. If they had been like, sorry, our bad, let's work with tail of knives and do this above board, that would have been much, much preferable to the way that they dealt with it, but that's not what they did. So I don't have a ton of experience with Gerber multi-tools. I have a suspension from way back in the day, and I have the one with the screwdriver that pops out, full-sized. What is it? The center drive, right. I have that, but one thing that I really like about that one, that this one I didn't know until just now, that one has spring-loaded pliers. These are not. I wanted to check this out. I've never seen the MP600, is that what it is? Yeah, in person. So it already broke, so that's good. Why did that happen? What in the heck? So yeah, that's not ideal. Maybe you should stick to Leatherman multi-tools. Dang, I know it's not broken. This is just a locking collar, but what in the heck? Why did that happen? All right, so no idea why that happened, but inside we have a pretty decent selection of tools here. We have, they'll come out, they're kind of stiff, not gonna lie. We have a fully serrated blade. I'm gonna put that away so I don't cut myself. We have typical can opener with just kind of some sharp edges. You can use this for a bunch of different stuff, but primary function there is a can opener, a Phillips head, and a lanyard hole. These are very, very tight, and they're all locking as well. You have a straight edge, so when this comes out, this kind of locks in place, and you pull this slide back to unlock it. Then you have quite a large file, flatheads, multiples, 3 flatheads to be exact, smaller, medium, wide, and then a bottle opener right there. So I think it's actually pretty standard tools inside this. You do have some wire cutters there, and then your multiple plier heads up front, right? So needle nose and just regular pliers. Not bad. It's not exactly what I would have expected. I think the center drive is a much better multi-tool than this one. And I would say that you can probably get more bang for your buck for the money. This one I believe was like $60. Gerber MP600 Basic, $54.97 for this. And let's just see if I'm overlooking any of the tools. It says 14 tools. Doesn't list them out. It does come with a sheath. And there's another little thing in there. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep this. This may go back because it broke. First thing, those little sliding collars are not too uncommon. Like I know that I'm about to rebuild the turbo in my Excursion, and these are part of that rebuild. Same kind of collar, but for it to fall off as soon as I opened it up, not exactly pleased for almost $60. It doesn't even feel super well built, but not bad, right? I think this is good, but not bad. The suspension NXT was also there, but they were $40. And I was under the impression the suspension NXT was more of like a $30 pair of multi-tool or set of multi-tools or $30 multi-tool. So yeah, interesting. I don't know. Verdict's still out on the MP600, but for a lot of you international people, this is the one that you're gonna get because this is a travel friendly. Not this one, but there is a bladeless version of the MP600, so you can have it overseas, where it's legal basically everywhere, but I think you can also travel with the bladeless version of this. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's TSA friendly. Next up, we have, and I'll use the Fastback for this one, we have a SOG. So there were quite a few knife options there. Some Husky knives, which were okay, I think. There were some Gerber knives. Most of those were 7 CR13 MOV. The Husky knives were 3 CR13 MOV, and then there was this SOG, which is the Flare. I am not typically a fan of assisted opening knives, but this one is, and this was one of the only, I would say, legitimate options for a knife. 8 CR13 MOV steel, GRN handle. I'm guessing that's something similar to FRN, and it is the Flare. Is there anything it says on the back? Reversible, low carry pocket clip, satin polished blade, quick one-handed opening. That's about it. You got a 3.5-inch blade, 3.2 ounces, overall length is 8. So it's an interesting lock. Kind of like an axis lock, but not really. But yeah, just kind of push that thumb stud and it flies open. You can, I'm guessing, lock it shut so that you can't accidentally deploy it. And this lock doesn't do anything then. This, you slide it up. Red means same as a safety on a firearm, that it's safety off, I guess. Interesting little knife. Feels good. I like the size and shape. Everything feels really solid about it. I think that's pretty good. I think it was, what, 20 bucks? $20, $20, maybe more? $30. SOG Flare, $29.97. I like the blade shape on this thing, to be honest. The handle's okay, but the blade shape is actually pretty nice. Very lightweight, very, very deep carry pocket clip. And I might give this one a run. I know it's just a cheap little SOG, but I've not had a SOG knife in, damn, probably 4 or 5 years, something close to that. A little bit of blade play. Centering is, you know, to be expected, hot garbage. But for 30 bucks, I think it'll work. And the last thing, there's always multiple flashlight options in these videos, and they're all about the same, right? They always end up being very, very similar flashlights. From video to video, what you're gonna find in person a lot of the time is gonna be a Coast flashlight, which most of them are They're okay. They're good budget options. I think you can get better flashlights for the money, especially online when there's companies like Streamlight making flashlights. This one feels interesting. This one feels different from the other Coast lights I've used, another, we'll call them box store flashlights. So one mode, 110 lumens. This one is kind of got a hot spot and then a little bit of spill. The other one that was very similar to this was a little cheaper, but it had more of a inspection beam, I guess is what they called it, but everything else was very similar. The other one was also IP54 certified for water and dust resistance. This one's IP58. So it has crush proof, drop proof. The other one just said storm proof. So I really, again, don't know what storm proof means. Like, that's a very vague term. Someone said in the last video that storm proof means that it would withstand a storm, but that's very, very vague. Like, what kind of storm? How intense of a storm? So I prefer IP58 because you can look up and see what those actual resistance ratings are. I'm more familiar with IP58 or IP67 and all that because of working with cell phones. IP54, I don't really know what that means, but regardless, it's got a 137-foot range for your beam distance. You're not really trying to throw light with this thing. This is more of an up close, just like what I use. This is obviously brighter and much, much, much more expensive, but I think for $20, I would not complain about this Coast light, or really any Coast light. I think for 20 bucks, they're pretty good. Wait, quick cycle, switch design. First push. Oh man, that is very, very subtle, but there is a high beam and a low beam. I almost overlooked that. So high beam is 110 lumens, low beam is 48. 42 meter distance, 28 meter distance for your throws, 4 hour, 15 minute runtime, and 14 hours on the low mode. That's interesting. I didn't realize. I almost totally missed that because they only list the one on the front and don't say anything about the second mode. And it's such a small difference, even in person. Either way, I think that's a pretty solid flashlight for the money. But like I said, for $20, you can get a Streamlight, and I think that's going to be a better overall light online. So for this, we have this Coast flashlight. I don't know if it has a name. Coast Polysteel 100. Okay. We have the SOG Flare knife. So these two bring us to $50. This brings us to just under $60 if you're going to include this, but you know, there's a lot of knives in this one. This is $14. So we're about $75 here, and then $40 for the Gerber multiplier MP600. So the whole cost here is like $110. And I think for that, not bad. All of these are going to be pretty good for the money. Again, verdict's still out on the MP600. It doesn't sling open like the center drive does, and mine fell apart literally within seconds. Nothing that couldn't be fixed, but not a good look for something you just took out of the package. SOG, again, pretty solid feeling and looking knife. I think it'll get the job done, but I think you could get better stuff for the money. And I think that's true for everything here except for probably the Fastback, but I'm not gonna really discredit anything here. I think all of this is solid gear, and you can get some really respectable stuff from Home Depot. So you're not gonna find a wallet or a watch in store, but in terms of the actual tools that you're looking at, pretty impressive, although I do think that Lowe's has the edge with some Leatherman tools. And I think, what do they have for knives? They don't carry Gerber, do they? They carry CRKT. I think it's a toss-up in terms of what knives they carry, but they have the Milwaukee Fastback, so yeah, I think it's a toss-up between Lowe's and Home Depot as to who has the better EDC gear. But me being from North Carolina, having worked at Lowe's, I'm partial to them. I got a little bit of bias, so I'm going to give it to Lowe's. But still, these are always fun. Tell me what you think you could have done differently with your store locally, and what other stores I should try to hit up next. I think we're going to do Cabela's next, and then a Tractor Supply, and maybe we'll go out of our little town here and check another Ace Hardware, because I heard since they're franchised, everyone has a little bit of different stuff. They all kind of pull from the same inventory, but since they're franchised, the owners can stock their own inventory, so they can put Benchmades and Spydercos and all sorts of other stuff in their stores. So let me know what you want to see next, where we should go, but that's it for now. Oh, I almost forgot. I never chose a winner for the Ace Hardware giveaway video. I'm going to do that. It'll be the pinned comment down below. That'll announce the winner. I'll reach out to them in the comments of the other video. And let's do the same thing here. Let's just give all this away. We got a Coast flashlight, SOG Flare, Milwaukee Fastback, Gerber, and this little Nite Ize quick release thing. So just comment down below and tell me where you want us to go next, and you'll be entered to win this stuff. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, carry on.